Welcome back to Eyewitness News this morning on the CW. We're joined now by Chris O'Hara here to answer your legal questions. Remember, if you have a question, you can call us at 436-1212, and we'll do the best we can to answer your questions right here on the show. We do already have one caller on the line, so caller, if you're there, go ahead now and ask your question to Chris.
Yeah, I had a necklace stolen out of my luggage from an airline, and they looked for it, or said they did. And then they finally just told me after about 5 months they're not liable. Are they or not?
Well, I think actually they are. I think that when you obviously give your luggage over to the airline, that particular airline, when it's handed over, oftentimes they search it or they look through it. And if you can show that actual merchandise was in there, or that your belonging was in there, then certainly when you hand it over to them and you entrust them with the merchandise or with your particular belonging, if it's not there when you get to your destination or when you get returned home, then that's something certainly that an airline could be liable for. You know, a lot of times when you're dealing in a situation like that, where if they know that there's something that's been missing, if they know there's something not there, meaning the airline, they tell you they're not liable for it so that you don't take legal action to try to recoup the money that your belongings would to get the money back for what your belongings are worth. So I think you do have a legal action with it. Obviously, I don't know the amount that we're talking about that's involved, but it's certainly something that you probably want to try to pursue because you're out something that you shouldn't have been out.
Right. But is the hardest part proving that it was in there? Would the airline have something to come back with saying you can't prove that you actually put it in there to begin with? How do we know that?
Well, and that happens a lot of times in any type of court case. And if you can show, certainly there's other avenues to show it other than having an eyewitness see that there's something in the luggage. You can either present it through affidavit or through testimony showing that or swearing that you've got that particular belonging in there. And you know, most luggage is actually searched, and most of your bags are searched once you leave your hands and once you give them to the airline. So you do have a legal cause, and it isn't something that's just a blanket yes or no, we're not liable for it. Certainly you can try to recoup your loss if in that situation you lose property that belonged to you and was there when you gave it to the airline.
This would make me, if I was packing something more valuable, take a picture of it in the bag itself to kind of help my case just in case that ever happened.
That is a good idea, and then you have the ability to carry something on. And most of the time, if you carry, you can carry a sizable bag on. You can, if your valuables aren't too large, you can put them in that bag, and that way, hopefully, you would avoid all this. But you don't want to lose any luggage when you travel, anyways.
Yeah, that's always a frustrating part. It's an absolute pain. Thanks so much, Chris, for being here. Thanks for your call. Let's hop